My name is Jane Elizabeth. I'm 8 years old, and my brother has ADD, and his name is Andrew. Sometimes he behaves a little bit too wild.
Jane Elizabeth, okay, I got your stuff off the table. Now get it off the floor.
Fine.
Like, sometimes I'll just totally flip out on her if she does something really little. Then don't keep putting it on the table.
Andrew was diagnosed with ADHD, I think he was age 6, and teachers recognized the symptoms and suggested that we have him tested. There are characteristics of ADHD. Andrew exhibits 99% of those. The inability to concentrate, to focus. If he's in a classroom, he will hear someone tapping their foot or tapping a pencil in the back of the room, and that will totally throw off his concentration.
I'm just not good at organization. I always do the work, and then I wind up losing it, not knowing where it is.
He can't really pick up on the cues, any social cues that people might be giving to him. He finds it difficult to know when to be quiet, when to stop talking, when to say the appropriate thing, or when something that he is saying is inappropriate.
Jesus Christ. I can acknowledge when I'm being annoying, and then I'll stop. But usually I just don't know how to handle it all the time.
And it's very difficult for him to really establish friends and to kind of be one of the guys, even though he has a desperate need for those social connections. It's very difficult for him.
Some people, they forget that he has ADHD, and sometimes he just can't help it.
You know, he was just a fantastic athlete. When Andrew was playing baseball, he wanted to be a pitcher. He had a good eye, he did a fantastic job, and the team would win. We gave Andrew a guitar for Christmas. He taught himself how to play. He is very, very artistic. When he was 6, he produced a series of paintings that, it's like Picasso. And I'm still amazed to this day how lovely they are, just for their expression and the form and the colors and the texture of his paintings.
Well, she typed it?
The hardest part of being a parent of a child with ADHD is now you feel that you have a little bit of control and you can kind of help them through things. But in the future, I'm not going to be able to do that. I can't go with him to high school. I can't go with him to college. So I just have to get him ready, and that's the hardest part.
From the beginning, Jeff Reese was fearless. Whether driving a snowmobile while still a toddler, doing a backflip off a diving board, or roughhousing in the den, he was always into something. Quickly, he became a gifted wrestler. He finished second in the country in his first national tournament at age 11.
I was surprised. I was surprised that he did that well. I expected him to do well, but I mean, there was, I think there was 1,000 kids wrestling there, and there's probably, 80 kids in his weight class. And he took second in the country, and I was, wow.
He was so good that even though he was only in the 8th grade, he wrestled for his town's high school and won most of his matches. No surprise then that he would go on to wrestle in college. Also no surprise that, like all wrestlers, he would routinely lose 6 to 8 pounds of water weight in the week before a match, so he could wrestle in the lowest weight class possible. No surprise that, like all wrestlers, he would quickly gain the weight back after the official weigh-in, giving him the competitive advantage of being heavier than his opponent. Then came the meet when he was told to lose a lot of weight fast.
He tried to lose 24 pounds in 4 days. And
24 pounds in 4 days?
In 4 days, yeah.
Everybody wants to be a winner. And they think that losing weight and getting down to that low weight class is the way to do it. And I think they're wrong. And I know they're wrong.
Jeff's mother says she knows because while trying to lose the weight, Jeff collapsed and was rushed to the hospital.
He was down And that's all that we knew. His heart stopped. We waited and waited and waited. And they finally called to tell us that they couldn't do anything. He was gone.
It's everything in our life now, excuse me, is when Jeff was alive, and since Jeff has been gone. You lose track of some of the things, like some of the things we've done to the house since he's been gone. You think about, you know, well, Jeff wasn't here when we had that, or Jeff used to do this with that. Oh, we don't have that anymore now. And so, I mean, you can't get hurt any worse than that. And nothing good seems to be all that good anymore. So,
The death of his son has become a mission for Ed Reese. He has successfully lobbied at the collegiate and high school level, limiting how much weight wrestlers can lose before a match, and for requirements to measure their hydration. And more than 6 years after his death, Veronica Reese began making quilts out of Jeff's t-shirts, which she now gives to his friends.
The memories that are in those shirts are like, everybody looks at it, oh, I remember this, I remember that, you know, and it's, whether it's fun or sad or goofy or whatever, the boys love them and they'll probably have them forever, you know.
you guys gonna be good this year?
Ed and Veronica make a point to talk to young wrestlers, like Jeff's cousin Brian, hoping that what happened to their son never happens again.
Meet the Farrell clan. There's Mary Grace, she's 2 months old, and Megan, she's 15 months. There's Katie, she's 3.5, and Mom, she's, well, busy. Once, Katie was an only child. So, when Megan came along, Katie found that much of what once was her mother's undivided attention was suddenly divided between her and her new baby sister. Katie didn't like that.
Well, I have cesarean, so I was in the hospital for 4 days, and I think leading up to it, you know, she knew I was having a baby, but I don't think she really understood what it meant or what we were going to go through.
Megan is now old enough that as she explores her world, sometimes she ventures into Katie's.
That's mine! No!
All right.
Katie's biggest problem, though, is the less attention she gets from her mother, the more she demands it. Even as we tried to interview her mom for this story.
She was a good kid. She really is. What, hon? You're right here. I know. Where's Mommy? Where am I? Am I right here? Okay.
Is this part of...
Yeah, it is. She, you know, she likes Katie, honey. Don't touch her face.
Katie's mom, once a nurse in an intensive care unit for newborns, is not easily flustered. A deal is struck. After the interview, Mom will sit with Katie. They will watch TV together.
You just gotta hang in there, and you have to know that you can't make everybody happy all of the time.